You all know the Nikon Zf, which is a modern retro style camera released by Nikon in 2023. And the design of this camera was inspired by the Nikon FM2. And I simply love this camera. Hi, and thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Phil, aka Phil, and if you're watching this at the beginning of 2025, Happy New Year to you all. It took me a while to get my YouTube channel started again, but yes, life in a young family can be unpredictable. So this is my first video of this new year, and I wanted to kick off with the Nikon FM2, which I purchased last year. And I have to say that since I own this camera, this is definitely the Nikon camera I recently enjoy the most. And let me tell you why specifically. As I mentioned in past videos, I like the retro design language of vintage cameras, specifically because with all these dials, it just gives you a different shooting experience. And for example, Fujifilm has created a complete lineup with their XT line. Nikon has entered this market with the full frame option. Originally, you could say, I think they're with the Nikon DF during the DSLR times, and now with the Nikon Zf in the mirrorless era. And I enjoy this camera very much, but that also somehow led me to this original Nikon film camera. I mentioned this in my initial video of the Nikon Zf that I personally find this camera a little bit bulky, too big for a daily carry. And when I had this Nikon FM2 in my hands, it was basically the size I wished the Zf would have. I know that based on all the technology which is crammed into this one, it's quite difficult, especially all the video features like IBIS, etc. I understand that. Still, I would prefer stills only camera in the size of this Nikon FM2. But until today, we don't have such an option, and that's how I found my way towards this old film camera, since I also enjoy a lot to shoot film lately. And I have to say the reason why I kind of prefer the Nikon FM2 experience compared to the ZF, or why this Nikon is currently the camera I enjoy the most, is basically the fundamentals of photography and how you control the exposure triangle. If you shoot film, of course you have the ISO defined by your film stock, which you can just set up on this dial. I usually shoot Kentmere Pan 400 and push it 2 stops, so it's ISO 1600 on my end. Then you have your shutter speed, which is this tactile dial. Just sounds amazing in my opinion. And the topic I rave a lot on regarding the lens choices of the Nikon Zf is the aperturing on the vintage glass from Nikon. And here also you have nice clicks. It feels a little bit cheaper compared to Leica glass or Falklander glass, but based on the performance and price ratio, this is awesome glass from Nikon. As I said, that's basically all you need on this camera to control ISO by your film speed, shutter speed, and aperture. And why I enjoy this experience so much on the FM2 is basically because of the viewfinder, because all these informations you are able to see in the viewfinder, and you can control the shutter speed and the aperture without taking off your eye from the viewfinder to see what kind of changes you do. So I try to capture the viewfinder information. What I mean, basically you have on top your aperture, which you control basically here from the ring. Because of the setup, you are able to see that in the viewfinder. And on top you have on the left side your shutter speed. When you dial your shutter speed in or change your shutter speed, you are able to see it in real time how you change your shutter speed and which kind of time you are currently setting it up. Since this FM2 has also a battery as for the light meter. You will then have on the right side basically an indicator what your exposure looks like and to expose correctly, you could say. If you're overexposed, you will see a plus sign on the right. If you are exposing the scene correctly, you will see a dot. And if you underexposed, you will see a minus. Basically, as I said, you are able to control the shutter speed and the aperture by looking through the viewfinder. And then you are able to see when you are exposing correctly. And somehow this experience with that viewfinder by seeing all the necessary information, yeah, makes it fun for me to shoot this camera. And also by using the dials, which is you can argument on the modern cameras like the ZF and the XT line of the Fujifilms might be just yeah, gimmick, because you are able to also use the modern front and back dials to control your aperture and your shutter speed. But here back then that was necessary because it was bare bone. You had to dial in your aperture with the ring. You had to dial in your shutter speed with this dial, and that's how you control your camera and the scene you expose. And yeah, I don't know, but that somehow is for me a big fun factor, and also the reason I just enjoy this. Plus, I normally, if I shoot film, I shoot with my Leica M cameras. I had the M6 prior and upgraded to the Leica MP, but also have an Leica M3. And all of them, you are not able to, yeah, basically see all these kinds of information this Nikon provides you, because yeah, the indicator of Leica M cameras or film cameras is that you only have these arrows on the bottom, and then if the dot pops up, you know that you're exposing correctly for that scene. And I also think that's one of the reasons why I enjoy this camera so much, because it's just a different experience. And I'm having fun with that. I shot a couple of rolls with this FM2 last year, and as I said, just enjoying the experience this camera provides. But also I had yeah, quite also fun to dig into the archive of Nikon F glass for the system, you can say, since the F mount is on the market for quite a while now. And I stumbled upon this Nikon 80mm lens. It's yeah, you could say it's almost an ultra wide lens with 80mm 2.8. For me, this was the first time I was shooting ultra wide, you could say, on film. And I had the idea to just fake panorama shots basically with this lens, since I also watch a lot of videos about the wide lugs and the Hasselblad X-Pan, which are too much for my use cases to spend money on. Still, I wanted to yeah, somehow get that panoramic look on film. So I thought I will just try it with an ultra wide lens and crop the images just in post. The first roll I shot some shots with this lens were unfortunately not exposed correctly. I have to practice more how to expose an ultra wide scene because I haven't done that so far. But I'm quite satisfied with the first shots I got with this lens, and the idea of just faking the panoramic look on film. I will do more of these in the future, just out of fun. Of course, you could crop in any shot with a panoramic aspect ratio like this 50mm lens, but in my opinion, having a wider shot and cropping it into that panoramic view just gives you that yeah, you could say panoramic feel or something like that. But yes, that's basically the combo. I'm having quite a lot of fun, which is also the reason why I don't shoot my Nikon Zf so much if you are talking Nikon cameras. I currently enjoy a lot digging into the Nikon archives, and the result is that at the end of 2024 I ended up with 2 more Nikon cameras. And you could say that if this is the modern version of retro design cameras, and then you have the OG film cameras, these DSLRs are basically sitting in the middle. I watched a few videos about DSLRs, stumbled upon some good deals. This Nikon D200 I snapped for 50 bucks, and this Canon D700, a legend in terms of DSLRs. I learned by watching old videos. I snapped for about 200 bucks. Currently also experiencing the DSLR experience just out of fun, and I have to say, yeah, I also like that experience just using optical viewfinders lately. Here of course you have that weight topic. These are quite heavy cameras, but this is a video for another time. Yeah, comments below if you have any thoughts about that. But yes, I just wanted to give you a short impression about my Nikon FM2. And as I said, I enjoy this Nikon camera very much because of the tactile experience and of course of the size of this camera, specifically with this 50mm pancake lens. It's just amazing. But yes, for this year I have quite some cameras to make videos on regarding all these Nikon cameras, which I will plan to do some kind of comparison in different ways. But until then, I thank you very much for your time watching until this point, and you are the one who deserves the like for that. And if you want to support my small little channel, you can check the affiliate links below in the description, or buy me a coffee, link also in the description. And if you want to see more videos on my channel, just click on one of these. Have a nice day and Happy New Year.